All right, so I'm gonna, recording has started. So we're gonna talk about virtual open houses today. And Ricky has actually done a virtual open house. So he's gonna jump in and talk about what that looked like for him. And then I have a bunch of resources to share with you guys. I've got some videos, I've got some KW Connect stuff. Um, and so, oh, look, we have Nanette. Hi, Nanette.
Hi.
And
Hi, Nanette. So here's how I did mine. I had a video. I went over before we got completely grounded, and I videoed the entire house. I had my son walk around and video me as I was walking through the house as if I were showing it. The video is all told is about 17 minutes because it's a 5,400 square foot house. And being the first one that I did, I wasn't sure how to pace it. So next time I will do things a little bit different, and I will pace it a little bit faster so it won't take as long. So what I did is I marketed it out on Facebook and did a Zoom call with anyone who wanted to join the open house. So I just invited everyone via Zoom to be on the Zoom call. And then all I did was a screen share and played the video. And then that way I was able to, it wasn't like a live video because it was already recorded. So I was able to just sit and monitor the chat box and answer questions. So I learned a lot of things doing my first one, and I'm sure a lot of the resources that Amy has will help. And the thing is, there's a ton of different ways to do them, right? So the other thing I will do, if I don't get to it this afternoon, I just did mine on Friday, that I will do, if I don't get to it this afternoon, it'll be tomorrow. I'm going to upload that video to YouTube, shoot the YouTube as well, and then share that out with everyone, and they can just kind of go look at that video whenever they want. So for me, the easiest process for me to understand was doing it on Zoom, and then just simply doing a screen share and letting people fire away their questions in the chat box as they want. So the other thing is, one day later this week, I can't remember what day it is, it's on my calendar. You should have all gotten a couple of different emails from RE Colorado about their virtual open houses and their process. And I'm registered to take their training class, I think Thursday this week. I'm not sure what day I registered for, to walk through, because one of the things that I'm really curious about is, okay, so if I set a virtual showing or a virtual open house through MLS, how does that get marketed through MLS, right? At this moment in time, the other thing I will do once I've got it uploaded to YouTube is I'll get the URL for that, and then I will send an email out to every realtor that comes up through MLS as a reverse prospect. So if there's anybody in the MLS that has a search set up right now that my house has a hit, that agent will get an email from me saying, hey, please pass this along to your buyers, the video that I've done of the house.
So Ricky, when you did your open house and you answered the chat, whatever, did you get a lot of people asking you questions about the house?
So because the one thing I did was I limited myself, fortunately and unfortunately, to marketing it just on Facebook. I only had 4 other people, and they were all agents from our office. Part of it also was, I think Friday, overnight Thursday night, and a lot of the day Friday, excuse me, there was some communication issues going on, excuse me, between Command and Facebook. So I made a landing page to begin with, right? And had that on Facebook. And had some comments and likes and hearts and all of that stuff. And I was hoping that those people would come over to the open house, and they did not. Part of the problem was that landing page, if you were on your computer or you had an iPhone, you could look at the photos of that landing page. If you had an Android, when you clicked on the photos, it was not there. The photos weren't there. So I think there was a bit of a disconnect. I don't know what the percentage of the population is that has iPhones versus Androids. I just know there's a significant amount of people out there that wanted to see the photos and they couldn't see them.
so Ricky, I have a question for you. Did you host a watch party on Facebook?
I did not. I simply did it as my regular Facebook post.
So do you have any plans to host a watch party?
I do. One of the things that I wanted to be able to do is get this out there and just go through the process to my level of understanding and get it done. And once you've done it once, the holes and what you can do better next time become very, very apparent.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I did not do it as a watch party, and I would do it as a watch party next time. I just need to understand what that looks like and how that functions.
Sure.
So I always attribute real estate to being an NFL quarterback. Right? You can come out of college and you can be the #1 touted quarterback in the draft, right? And you're going to get drafted and you start this year and you're going to struggle. Maybe you'll have success. You will struggle overall, right? And unless your name is Dan Marino, typically your rookie season is not going to be one that overall compares with all of your other seasons in your career. And the amount of growth that an NFL quarterback does between the first year and the second year is always their biggest growth year, right? Because they come out of the draft, they get drafted, they got to learn how to be a professional, they got to learn the playbook, they got to learn the coaching staff, they got to learn the staff. They have all that new stuff that they have to learn. Their first off season is when they can really dig in and work on nothing but the playbook and getting better on the field. And so I think the key is get out and do one, figure out what you don't know, understand and learn what you don't know, and then you can go learn it and know it, and then your second one will always be the better one.
I totally agree. Totally agree. So some of the things that I've read, the 2 Facebook groups that I would really recommend that you guys jump in on are Command Your Conversion with Nick Baldwin and the Pivot. Maybe I'll bring them up because I don't remember. But it's Pivot, Shift Your Pivot or Pivot Your Shift or whatever it's called. Anyway, both of those Facebook groups have some really great resources, and there's a lot of great stuff that people are sharing on there in terms of how they're doing their open houses. And
Amy, real quick, it's just called Pivot Shift Ahead.
Thank you. Pivot Shift Ahead.
Yep. Although just so you got people know, behind the scenes when our ALC meetings happen and our ALC gets together, we've shortened it to Shivit because it sounds funny when we get mad and stressed out and scream it out loud. We just call it Shivit.
That's a good one. I like that. Anyway, and so on the Pivot page, actually, Wendy Papasan shares a lot of her experiences with open houses, and one of the resources I'm going to share with you guys is something that she shared on that group. But anyway, I'm gonna screen share my screen, and first things first, in the OneSource group or Google file that we shared with all of the agents, if you need the link, feel free to reach out and let me know. But there's a thing called OneSource, and there's a folder in there called Virtual Open Houses, and that's where you're going to find all of the things that I'm going to pull up right now. We have there's a YouTube channel, how to set up a virtual open house, and it goes through 3 really great videos: how to set up a virtual open house, how to design graphics for your virtual open house, and then how to promote your open house. Now, full disclosure, this came from KW Connect, and I have not watched the videos myself yet. I just went and researched them this morning when Ricky and I decided that doing virtual open houses for Tech Cafe would be a good option. So I'm sure they're good if they were on KW Connect, but they're there as a resource.
Amy, real quick, just so everyone knows that you have a YouTube channel automatically, right? Like every one of you has your own YouTube channel because it comes with the Gmail.
We do not know this.
Yes, if you have a Gmail email account, you have a YouTube channel. And by nature, any email that if you use email at kw.com is a Gmail account. Therefore, you have your own YouTube channel.
Okay, so Ricky, I think next week for Tech Cafe, we're going to go through Gmail and Google Drive. What do you think?
I think that would be fantastic. I may or may not be able to attend next Monday.
And that's okay.
Next Monday's class because, nice, Teresa. Teresa just volunteered to help teach everyone how to do that.
Sweet.
If you look in the chat box. I may or may not be here for Tech Cafe next week. I actually have a closing next week that we're trying to get set up today. And
congratulations.
so I may have to do a couple of different things to help those buyers out. That one I'm on the buy side. So I'm not sure I'll be here. I'm going to do my level best to get that scheduled around it.
All good. All good.
Hey, I love it when we offer. I love it when Gwen says no. I didn't know that because Gwen knows a lot. So if we offer something that Gwen didn't know, that's pretty powerful. Like I feel accomplished today now.
I do too. I do too. Thank you, Gwen. All right. You're next.
Happy to help.
By the way, here is that link for the virtual open houses and Facebook Live on the YouTube channel that I was just showing you. So next, this is Wendy Papasan's checklist of how and what to do when you're doing an open house. It's quite lengthy. It's 12 pages. So she goes into a lot of detail and then has some really nice screenshots to kind of walk you through each piece of what you're going to do. So I think this is super, super well done. And I would encourage all of you to hop into the Drive folder and grab it.
Hey, Crystal, since I see that you're on and I hope you're listening, you did one as well, and you've got yours set up through Facebook that anyone can click on and go through it at any time and have it set up as lead capture, right?
Yes, we do.
And how's that working? Are you getting any traction with that?
I'm getting, unfortunately not for the listing itself, but I'm getting in touch with a few leads. And it's kind of funny. We're trying to figure out how it's happening, but they're not really coming through the landing page. They're really just coming through Facebook directly. So people reaching out and saying, hey, I have a question.
That's awesome though, in that, right? Like that sounds like it's functioning as a regular open house, right? I mean, the public thinks that we do open houses to sell the house, when the fact is we do open houses to build our database. Right?
Right.
That's awesome.
So it's not a total loss. I agree. Yeah.
If you happen to sell my listing, though, that would be a bonus.
Love it. And so, while we're on the topic,
you all heard it.
Yes.
He said I was getting a bonus.
All right.
Hey, you help me sell that, Crystal. I'll take care of you. Oh, absolutely. I'm going to get that one done.
And while we're on the topic of Facebook, just so you know, there is also a way, and you cannot do this through command yet, but there is a way that you can set up an ad for your listing through Facebook Messenger. So you can actually set up ads that go out through Facebook Messenger, and you do have to use the ads platform to do it. I experimented with it a little bit the other day, and it's not intuitive, yet it can be done. So just FYI. So the next thing I wanted to share with you is from Pivot Shift Ahead. So this is another open house resource, I guess, checklist, whatever. And you can kind of go through it and it'll give you some good pointers. One of the things that I liked about this is that it gives you the general best practices. So I really encourage you guys to look through the best practices. I think that that's super important so that we don't really, put our foot in our mouth. One of the things that I really want to stress right now is that people are spending more time on social media than they ever have. A lot of it is because we're all just sitting at home, right? And trying to fill our time. So remember that whatever you put out there is how people are going to perceive you. So if you have opportunities to look for best practices and read up on best practices for marketing and things of that nature, I encourage you to do it so that you don't go and put your foot in your mouth. It right now, and this is something that I always say, but I think now more than ever, if you do the wrong thing, it could really impact your business, because that's how people are spending their time right now. They're researching, they're looking, they're reading, they're watching. So just an FYI, that's all. And then there's a resources page where I've put some of these links, where I've put all of these links actually. Here's the YouTube link for the open houses, the KW Connect for the virtual open house, and the PDF. This is Wendy Papasan's layout for a virtual open house. And so you can grab those and go and look at any of these things on your own. But open houses is not really my forte, so I'm really going to kind of let you guys take the lead on these conversations and see what works and what doesn't work. And I would encourage all of you guys to talk amongst yourselves and share your experiences.
I think that's really important, because every agent's going to come at this from a little bit of a different perspective and do it a little bit of a different way.
Right.
And I think that's awesome. And I think that kind of masterminding and sharing information and knowledge will just help other people figure out how they want to do it. Right. And then the other thing is however you want to do these virtual houses, whatever's going to work best for you and your business. At some point when we're all ungrounded, assuming that happens and we can go back to doing old school manual open houses, you can still do both, right? You'll still be able to reach people electronically through electronic open houses. So it will be, for me anyway, an important thing that I've started bringing into my business for every listing going forward, right? Do old school ones to meet people in person, and then do virtual ones to get some lead capture going on and get leads for other business as well. It just simply adds to your, as Anna likes to say, your tool belt. I think it's a really important piece to know.
Yeah. So
Tracy, what are you drinking? Iced tea. Whatever.
Iced tea, promise.
Not on closing day.
I went to the office to deposit my check, and I bought up a sandwich from Mo and got some iced tea because I felt bad for him. He's
Very nice.
sad.
Oh, bless his heart. God,
I
I've been
know.
thinking about him so much.
I know. So I told him I was going to go back next week and buy some more sandwiches from him for my family and bring them home. But yeah, he's there.
Nice.
I adore him. So I have a question to put out there. Has anybody thought about how they are going to do a virtual open house now that you can't really go there or have a photographer or a videographer go and do your pictures? Have you guys thought about how are you going to coach your clients to do walkthroughs? Or how are you going to talk to your buyers about what the house looks like? So let me just put that out there for discussion.
I do have a quick question.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere other than our Facebook page that we're putting or can put our virtual, I guess, is there anywhere that we're keeping track of our listings where we can basically help each other market them? Like, I don't know, like I took Ricky's, right? I took Ricky's. Yes, I did do an in-person video, but can each of us do that on our own listings and share them with each other so we can help each other market them, even if it's in different ways?
You know, that's a really good question. If you, I would say our Facebook page right now is probably the best place to do that. But I can definitely, sorry, my dogs are going nuts. I can definitely set something up in a Google Drive so it can be shared in a Google Drive if that would be helpful.
I think it would be. The other thing, Crystal, that we talked about was making sure that we get, like the one that you've done, get it over onto your YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, that too.
And going through the MLS, reverse prospecting that listing, and marketing the YouTube channel link via email to all the agents who have buyers that are looking that home fits all the buyers criteria.
Yeah, I mean, it's in YouTube now, so if you needed to look it up, you can.
Yep.
So how
It's gonna be
about,
a powerful way, actually.
how about if
Sorry.
we, no, that's fine. How about if we set up something in our Facebook group, a file in our Facebook group where everybody can add in their YouTube links?
I think that'd be great.
That, I mean, because that would be super easy to do and probably the easiest way to do it.
I'm all for it.
And I can create a little video to, you know, a little video tutorial on how to add your links in there.
Yep.
The other thing about it was, and I don't know how diverse our office is, but the reason I did the video the way that I did it versus something like Ricky's, which was pretty cool, was because I can take the video and translate it into Spanish
Mhm.
Oh,
and
yeah.
use it that way also.
Absolutely.
So
It's a huge benefit.
Totally.
So you're telling us if we did videos like you did, we could have you translated into Spanish for us too?
All of
YouTube will
them.
do it for you.
I'd rather have Crystal do it than YouTube.
Well.
Sure, I'm happy to.
You're the best.
But I mean, in all honesty, I've done it with Michael's listings, probably 90% of them, and we've done 3 deals together. So it
That's
works.
awesome. Well, you need to expand your business and do business with agents outside of Michael. Help a brother out. Sell one of my houses.
Yeah.
You got it. You got it. But, you know, that said, I mean, I know we have people that speak other languages in our office also. And,
Yep.
you know, if they could do that for our listings, that'd be great too, because you never know.
Yep.
You never do know. Absolutely
You never
not.
do know. That's a great idea.
You know, the other thing is more of along the lines of virtual showings as opposed to a virtual house. Joy and Lindsay did a practice run on Friday, right, of how to do a virtual showing. So they just scripted it and role played buyer's agent, buyer, seller, listing agent, where everyone was at home in front of their own computers and they have the seller walk through the house, live streaming the video so that the buyer could see it, you know, at least see the home that way. And I think that was pretty cool. And what was fun about that was just seeing how they did it, right? And then talking with Joy in that scenario. Joy was the seller and Lindsay was the listing agent. And then asking them, okay, what'd you girls learn from doing it one time? And that was pretty cool to get that list of things that they learned and what they need to change around before they actually have their sellers do those live showings like that. Right?
Did they put that on our Facebook Live or where did they do it?
I do not know where they put it. It's somewhere, I'm sure of it. I don't know. I know they recorded it they did it as a Zoom, right?
Okay.
And I know they recorded it somewhere.
Okay.
I think the other
Oh.
thing too is understanding the process that Damien worked with all of us on and taught us Thursday last week, maybe, of how we can get buyers actually into a home, right? So the process looks basically like this. We used to have a search set up for our buyers, right? Home hits their check boxes, hits their email. They like it, they want to go see it. We took them to a showing, they like it, we write an offer, right? Once that offer is accepted, we all know what that process looks like then. What we have to do now, based on the current governor's order, is flip the early stages. What we can do legally is we can get a home under contract, then the buyer has the right to go see it. Right? So in the contract to buy and sell, there are 2 places in the bottom of the dates and deadline section that are blank that we can add our own made up deadline. Right? So Damien's calling it, and you should have all got an email from Anna that's got the new the clause in there that's called the home viewing inspection, right? The buyer viewing inspection. So the idea is you go under contract, you negotiate a contract out just like you would before, get the home under contract, then within 24 to 48 hours, the buyer has the right to go into the home and see the home and inspect it visually to determine if they still want to move forward with buying the house. If they do, then you're great and you just go do your transaction. Inspections are still legal, appraisals and those things, right? If they choose not to, if they find something in the house that tells them, no, we're not buying this house, right? And let's face it, there are certain things that you cannot do virtually when showing a home. There just are, right? I've got buyers right now that conceptually are fine buying electronically and virtually, but they want to be able to smell the house. They want to know if they're walking into a house that smells like cat urine, or if they had an Indian chef that lived in there and the house smells like curry, right? Things like that. So if they choose not to move forward with it, you simply kill the transaction. And you want to do that within the first 24 to 48 hours for this reason. If you get it under contract and you have that home viewing inspection within 24 hours and the buyer chooses not to continue buying the house, the seller has not had to change, the listing agent has not had to change the status in MLS yet, because they have 3 business days from the time you go under contract to update the listing status from active to pending. So the short answer to what we're doing is you go under contract, you do a home inspection, buyer decides if they're moving forward or not. The only thing the seller is out is their time to negotiate the transaction or to negotiate the contract, right? And then they will be out of the house legally per the governor's order to allow the buyer to go in and do their home viewing inspection.
Well, and then Ricky, you could also have your seller say we're accepting backup contracts.
You can, absolutely. The thing is you can do that. I wouldn't see the need for it though, right? Because you're going to be able to leave that in active status for 3 business days. And if I do this, and I'm working with my clients right now on getting this one set of clients involved in this, right? Look, when we write the offer, we know our schedule is open to go in and look at that house within 24 hours. So I don't care what day we go under contract. We're in the house the next day doing the viewing inspection. And they'll know pretty quick. I mean, it won't even be like a regular showing at that point, right? They'll have seen most of that, if not all the house, through virtual showing. They'll have seen the virtual tour. Hopefully that at least the old school virtual tours that we put on MLS, right? So when they go in for that, it'll be pretty quick. They just want to check a couple of things. My clients want to know that they want to see they actually want to see the size in their own minds of the living room, and they want to know if it stinks, right? They'll know everything else, take a quick trip through and bam, they're out. If they want to move forward with it, great. Then we move forward with earnest money and the rest of the transaction, and we go have fun doing a transaction, right? If they decide, nope, this isn't the one for whatever reason, we kill the deal within an hour. And the seller's only been under contract for 12 hours or 18 hours or whatever it is. And no one will ever know that happened except the buyer's agent, the listing agent, and the buyers and the sellers. So there's and that's perfectly legal to do. So that's how we can get around working with our buyers. The trick is getting other buyer's agents outside of our market center and outside of Keller which I'm seeing some posts from some of my Remax friends on Facebook now that have figured this out too. And I think we'll be able to sell some homes this way. So it's still going to come down to on the listings being priced right. Right? So do your open houses, do your virtual open houses, do your virtual showings. You can still get clients under contract. And as we see every morning when Anna posts the numbers, people are still buying and selling homes. Realtors are still making commissions. Might as well be you.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think that, we're just trying to navigate through this and trying to find the right way to get business done and without getting ourselves in trouble. And so being creative, right?
I have a total buyer that'll work for it right now. I love this.
Yeah, so I think the other way that we can look at doing this is if you have somebody who wants to see a house and doesn't want to go under contract until they see the house, which, you're probably going to run into that. I don't know. But how do you coach the sellers to do a walkthrough? And, how do you get everybody on a Zoom call and have the seller do a walkthrough with the house? Hey, we have, this is what the bathroom looks like, this is what the kitchen looks like, what are the most popular areas, or what are the most important things that the buyer wants to look at? Oh, hey, can you open the dishwasher? And so I can see inside the dishwasher. Can you open the oven? I want to see how big the double oven is. I don't know, whatever those things are that are important to each one. But, how do you prepare, and how do you prepare the other agent on the other side of the transaction for this? I did see some on one of the 2 Facebook pages that I mentioned. I did see some posts about that and things that you should take into consideration if you're going to have your seller do a walkthrough on a Zoom call with the buyer and the 2 agents, right? So how you got to coach everybody before you get on these calls, or things could potentially go sideways.
Yep.
Would be my guess.
Absolutely true. We've got to be able to protect ourselves, right? We all worked hard for our licenses and no one wants to get in trouble. So I would tell you a couple of things, right? Practice it. It really is script practice, right? Get you and 3 of your fellow agents that you're friends with to do a practice run. One's the buyer's agent, one's the buyer, one's the listing agent, one's the seller. Do a practice run. Get to just like a script practice, right? And then if you have a listing that you're going to be doing that, do script practice with your sellers. Have you do it with your sellers where it's just you and the sellers on the phone doing the videoing, right? And being able to, like Amy said, coach your sellers to not be saying anything that they shouldn't be saying in a showing, right? It's just a different version of script practice. That's all it is.
Yeah, and I think too that you probably want to have a call with the other agent on the buyer side. So, what can you expect from this showing? How you're planning on conducting the showing, and giving them the heads up of, hey, this is what the seller and I have agreed on, and this is how we're going to do the walkthrough for your buyer. And hey, if there's questions, now's the time to ask them. And, I've asked my seller not to do this or that, or, whatever that looks like, so that everybody walks into this virtual showing with their eyes wide open and they know what to look for and what to expect.
Absolutely true. Amy, why don't you just get your license, become a realtor? You already know all this stuff.
No, thank you though.
Be a kick-ass agent, man.
Well, maybe.
I don't think there's any maybe. Trust me, we've all worked with that agent where we're like, who ties your shoes for you? Right? Just saying. And I'm
Yeah.
sure I've worked with agents where they think of me, hey man, who ties your shoes for you? I'm sure that's happened.
We've all worked with that person, and we've all been that person, right?
Right. So that's why I'm saying you should just go get your license. Just saying. And don't tell Anna or Patricia that I said that. So delete this out of the recording in case they watch it.
I will. I'll go in and do some editing just for you,
Yes.
Ricky.
Yep. Absolutely. That's funny.
No, I like being on this side, actually, to be honest with you. I'm a much better coach than I am of anything else.
Anyone else have any comments, ideas, thoughts, questions? Anyone? Bueller?
Right?
I just had a friend of mine that I know from here. She moved out to Virginia. She just messaged me and she's like, how's the market? I sent her the graphic that Anna does for us
Mhm.
every day, or at least weekend. And she's like, okay, we have friends that are looking to sell their house, 600K. Can you take care of that? Yes, I can. But now all of a sudden I'm going, oh crap, now I need to pay attention. What was happening there? How do I do this?
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm like, yep. And you know that I'm going to say now is always the best time to sell. So
Now
she's
is
like,
always
yep,
the best
that's
time
fine.
to sell. No matter what kind of a
Absolutely.
market we're in, now is always the best time. Right?
Well,
It
it's
just
the
is.
only thing that you know is now.
Yeah.
No one knows the future.
If I knew a
So
crystal
Exactly.
ball,
no
and
other
if I
reason.
had a real estate crystal ball, I would write a book and not have to do transactions anymore, right?
For real. No, I would rent out the ball.
There you
Yeah.
go. Or
Yeah.
you could like Airbnb the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yep.
That'd
You
be
need
awesome.
passive income. See?
Yes,
Yeah.
That's right.
that's awesome.
Yep. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited about that.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Woo.
real estate is still happening. And Anna sends those stats every day, and you can go look up. You can look the stats up yourself, actually, at least what's in the MLS.
Right.
On the home,
Yeah.
It's right on the homepage.
Looks better the way that she puts it out, though.
course.
Way better.
Absolutely.
It's all graphified and stuff.
Amy, full transparency, do you do that for her, or does she do that her own?
No, she does that all by herself.
Probably takes her about 30 seconds.
So she created the original, and then she just goes in and changes the numbers every day, and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Makes
so
sense.
It's in design, I think, isn't it?
it is.
Designs.
Yep, it's in command.
Awesome. Yeah, share that number. That's those stats with people. Clearly it works, right?
Yep.
That's a great story,
Yep.
man. I'm happy that happened. Where's the house?
Parker.
That a girl.
So she is a friend of mine that got her license when she moved to Virginia, and then joined KW just recently. And I'm like, shit, I wish I'd have known that you were looking, but man, oh well. So I'm glad that she's with KW though.
Yep. It's the place
Yeah,
to
for
be.
sure.
So it'll be a referral. I like it.
It's the easiest money ever, right?
That's right.
That's awesome. All right, cool. So what did we say we were going to work on next week, Amy? How to do our YouTube channels and all that?
Yeah. So let's work on your KW. What comes with your KW suite? Let's do that.
I think that's fantastic. You're the best.
Yeah, because we can definitely look at YouTube. We can look at Google Drive, et cetera, and there's lots of good stuff in there.
Cool.
Really good stuff.
I like it.
Yep.
All right, cool. Anyone else got any questions? I know we're supposed to go for an hour, but
Yeah, I mean, and it doesn't have to be about this. It could be about something else too.
And you're gonna post your screen share up on Facebook or where? Or send it to us or
So you know what? I'll put it in the files in our Facebook group. How's that?
Where are all these? Where do these recordings live?
So these recordings live on the YouTube channel. And so between today and tomorrow, I will have all of last week up. And then this one, I'll try to get it up, but I'm only, quote unquote, in the office Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'll try to get it up before the end of the week, but
I just
no
want the
promises.
document on your screen.
Yep. I'll
That-
put it in our files in Facebook. Do you guys know where that is and how to get there?
No, you can just hit forward.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'll tag you, Tracy.
Oh my Lord. Okay.
I'm the old high maintenance one, needs technical help.
Now, okay.
Tracy, you're way
So-
more high maintenance than old.
Yeah, he's not disagreeing with that part.
Okay, so here is our Facebook group, and right here where you see files, if you click on that, by the way,
You
what
could
do you
get
guys
lost
think
there
of
for
my
days.
graphic up here?
What?
What do you guys think of my graphic up here?
I like it.
It's cool.
Okay. Here's all the files that, so whenever we talk about putting stuff up in the Facebook files, that's where it is. You just go to the group, click on files, and you'll see all kinds of stuff in here. There's lots of stuff in here. So what I will do with this is I'll create a doc and I'll give it a title and I'll put these links in here. Tech Cafe. Okay. And then there's a publish button down here. So I'm going to publish it. Oh, how fun. Usually it just works, but you never know. I'm not a robot. And submit.
There it is.
Is it there?
Think so.
Cool. Now, so you'll see down here, allow group members to edit this document. So when I create one for our YouTube channels, our document or our file for YouTube channels, that will be clicked on, and so you can go in and let me get out of here. Maybe. It may not be in here. I don't know. But you'll have the ability to go in there and edit it and add in your own links. So, and I can create a short little tutorial video and post it so that you guys can see it.
I don't see it yet. That's so
You
weird.
don't see it yet. Now I may have to redo it.
What was it called? Something Tech Cafe, right?
Yeah, Tech Cafe, virtual open house. So if it's not, there it is. Okay, hold on. It saved it as a draft. I've got 4 people on internet, So. Do you see it? It's, shows as
Going back.
draft.
No. The exemption letter's the last thing I saw.
Okay. So I see it in docs. Let's see. Yeah, it's got it saved as a draft. I'll go in and save it so that you guys can see it. I probably just need to republish it. There we go. Now it should be in there. You should also see it as a post. There we go.
Yep, I see it.
Go, Amy. Go, Amy. Go, 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 Amy.
Any other
Look at
thoughts,
Tracy all
comments?
dressed and stuff.
I know,
I had
right?
a closing.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Did you get to go inside? I had to stand outside.
I gotta go inside.
Nice.
Title company.
Homestead.
Nice.
Oh,
I like
Did
those
let you go
people.
inside?
Yeah.
how's Chris?
I didn't see him. I just saw Jill, my closer. I sat way at the other. She said if I came in, I could sit at the very end of the table. And I brought her wine because I owed her a bottle,
Oh,
so
okay.
that's why she let me in probably.
Oh, there you go. That works. I like it.
Oh, that's funny. What else, guys? Anything else you guys want to talk about or ask questions?
This was very informative. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Thank you.
Nice, Amy. I like it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Bravo.
Bye.
You guys have a great day.
You too.
You
Bye,
too,
girls.
Tracy. It's
All right,
good to
see you
see
later.
you.
Bye.
Thanks, Crystal. Bye.
Bye.
All right. I'm going to log us off then.
All right. See you guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.